Some other things we can do with the invert and the levels program is we can first of all, if we have a beam that we want to calculate, we don't have to run the whole program again. We could say, okay, well, if there's a 750 beam down there, we can copy a previous one, and then we can run the edit, and we can say, okay, let's run it. So now it's a beam, and it's 750, and it remembers the beam RL of the beam above and the beam height and the floor. So there we go. We can quickly see that, copy them around and edit them. Same with the ceiling. If the ceiling changes to 20, if we've got a ceiling in here of 2700, we can quickly edit that and work out the ceiling RL. So 2700. There we go. So just a quick way to edit some of those values. The other thing we can do with the invert level command, there's different types of inverts we can put in. We can put in just a height. So if we're doing height, we type in H. We can keep the same grade and everything else, but we put in here now the soffit height. So the soffit height is going to be that slab height, so 2750. And then we just want to click the endpoint and put in a height. So we can do the same thing there. Copy those around. See how we're going to end up at the end. We can do the run. We'll just go straight to the end. Yeah, and we're going to edit this one. So we can quickly see that we're 2325 if we run all the way around there. So that's the height. We can put in an under slab invert level, which is a B, which is quite handy if we have a flat slab and we're doing a bit of coordination. We put in 1.65 pipe OD, spacing is the same. Soffit height doesn't really matter, but we can put that in. We'll put start under slab, and then we pick here. And we can see that it's worked out that we're 150 underside of the slab. We could copy those around, but let's just put one right down here, see what we end up with. So now we can run it at 1%, run it down, F7, click all our points to get to the downstream invert, and then we click there, so we can see we're 425 underside of slab by the time we get to there. The other ones we're able to do is just a plain invert level. So same thing. Just keep hitting enter on most of them, but check the values. Okay, so that's our start invert level there, and then we can put another one downstream here, and we can run that and check what we're going to be by the time we end up down the bottom. So there we go. If we also had a fire hydrant pipe running down here, and we just wanted to put an invert with no fall on it, we could put in a height. So we could say start invert level, and we just want to put in a height, 0 grade, pipe OD is 120, support spacing, we'll keep it at 50, and our soffit, and then we just put in a height there. So we can quickly put in heights on pressure pipes as well. The other thing we're able to do is if we say this part of the line goes to 150 and this part is 100, we could say at 1%, 65%, and this here is 150 at 1%. We would want to at this point drop the invert down 50 millimeters and change the grade. So the way we can do that is if we just do it with a normal invert level, We can say our 1.65 we'll start with, 100, 50, and everything else is good. Come in here and we put our invert. And what we want to do is we want to copy this up to the point, which is there. And I want to put a, okay, so now we can run that down to there at 1.6. Check that. There to there to there. Right, and now what we can do is we can edit that invert level there. So we can say let's edit the invert level, and we're going to say now it wants to be 1% and 150, and it will recalculate those details, and we can then drop it down 50 millimeters to get that drop in the pipe. So now we can copy this over to here, and we can now run this at 1%, 150 pipe, run it down, and at any time we can click on any of these bits and invert levels, and we can see what grade, the pipe OD, the top of the pipe, the invert, and if we put the right soffit in, it can tell us how much space we have above that pipe. So that's pretty handy. So if we come back to this one and we run a check, we can see that we've got 50 mil above this, the pipe, and the soffit RL that we put in gives us a top of pipe RL and all the other details. So yeah, very handy for coordination and whatnot.